Hey Tids, how you doing? I don't know what's up with my Wilhelm scream, it just does not want to work anymore. It's very odd. Maybe I've forgotten to fix something. I'll figure it out. Right, the Discord thing has been done. Throat's on the mend. Oh, I'm glad to hear your throat's on the mend. Heading towards a CFS flare-up. Oof! Oh, Tids, big hugs. That really sucks. It's like buses, isn't it? Nothing for a little while and then everything comes at once. It's fucking awful. I hope the flare doesn't last too long. Hey, Kian, how you doing? Yeah, I figured we've not put any decorations up at home because it's too much effort, but I figured I'd trim my stream up a little bit. We'll pop that into the jukebox because it is that time again. When is Silk Song coming out? Well, DMAC, if you're exceptionally well behaved, maybe, just maybe, Santa will release it for Christmas. Stream looks good though, the snow effects make me fear for the bitrate. You should be fine now. Only got snow effect on the main screen. Christmas 2023. 2027. 2040. Who knows, really, DMAC? Hey Nikki, how you doing? Also, how are you doing, DMAC, as much as you're pining for Silk Song? Because that bit I know. Oh, I have some good news for folks. After Wednesday's stream and the "oh no, the video is bad" moment, we now have a means of covering up the video when we want to listen to a track but the music video is a bit... Unfortunately, only I have control of it at the moment. I'll figure something out so that it's a bit better in the future, but it's there if we need it, so if you have that kind of situation, give me a shout and I'll break the TV. Yes, it was Tids. Still don't have COVID, still don't have an oven. Practicing for Hitler's blasphemous runs all day. Oh, well, the last bit sounds fun. Not having COVID is good, but I appreciate why in your current situation that would be a bit of an issue. And also, I hope you can get your oven sorted soon. Hey Rocket, how you doing? So, I have been... not with that brush, just doing a little bit of new oven should arrive tomorrow. Awesome. Doing a little bit more of the prep work for finishing off this boy. I do have some sad news though. I am not going to be able to finish my Raccoon Ghostbusters until after the new year. In spite of the fact that I'm probably going to have this guy finished today. Because one of the key components for the fun thing I wanted to try and do with the Venkman raccoon has gone missing. And I can't afford to buy any more until after I've been paid. And my employer pays me on the last working day of every month, which means I'm getting paid on New Year's Eve. So yeah, I can't buy any replacement of the thing until New Year's Eve. Which is a shame. It's kind of sucky. I knew you were going to ask that, Torpor, and I've been deliberately obtuse about what it is. One, because people will figure out what I'm trying to do. And two, because I don't mind waiting. It's fine. Just means I'll have to paint something else over the Christmas period. I finished my MechWarrior character sheet. Awesome! It's a bit for lines of dialogue to describe the character's personality. And since my character's a parent, I put sleep. Sorry, parents don't get that. Wicked. I mean, I know that feeling, but that's because I'm an insomniac. And you don't need to apologise about text wars, Kian. You know that. It's fine. Hey, Cypher, how you doing? Been playing Wasteland 3 all day. Nice, Tids. It's quite good. Wasteland series is what Fallout could have been if Bethesda didn't get their grubby paws on it. I mean, that's one way to look at it, for sure. I've never played any of the Wasteland games, so I do not know. It's not like there's a lack of pile of opportunity to choose from. Indeed, Torpor, I have plenty of options. There it is. Remembers when Fallout was good. Fair. Hey, Pudlord, how you doing? Oh, gosh. Hey, Penguin Sentinel, how you doing? 4 months. Fucking hell. Right. Hang on. 7 months, not 4. Ooh. Well, thank you very, very much. It's a 4-month streak, I see. Thank you very, very much for being subscribed for a grand total of 7 months. I really appreciate that. That's over half a year. Well, thank you very much. I hope you're doing well today. I'm doing the dance moves from Yakuza 0. As you should be. I would be, but there is a dog to my right and a camera in front of me. 2 cameras in front of me, technically. Which one came first, believe it or not? Oh, neat. I can do this, though. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Whichever part of it you're in, I hope it's going well, has gone well, and continues to go well. I'm at 7 months, none of which I've paid for. Spending your Bezos bucks wisely, I see, Cypher. Thank you very much. Flatfuck Friday. It is indeed Flatfuck Friday. So I'm just adding the details to the back of the proton pack because of the tubing and stuff and because of the positioning. Some of it's quite awkward to get to. So I figured I may as well do it now. And I'm using the smallest brush I've got, the Psycho. Just so that I can get around things. Hey Grox, how you doing?
Genuine enthusiasm.
Oh gosh, Roswald W. Roswaldo? I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm very sorry, but thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day. Fair play, Torpor. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope things start to look up for you soon. Trying really hard not to get blue in red in places where it shouldn't be. And here I am, doing exactly that. That's better. Let's see if I can get the boy on the camera. See a look at him. There he is. Eeh. There we go. It's the boy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Grox. Big, gentle hugs for Lady Grox. Thank you for the scritches for poor Torpor. Let's see if I can get him to bank into the camera. If I push that back a little bit and then do this. No. He's too small. And he insists on sitting directly underneath my microphone as well. There we go. There he is. Oof, your breath is smelly, sweetheart. Like, super smelly. Yes, you're beautiful, but you smell terrible. Yet he's not a small dog. No, he's not. He's I think he classes as a medium-sized dog. He thinks he's a puppy, though. Don't you? Yeah, big baby. Okay. One of these days, I'm going to be able to get us both on the camera. Beautiful but smells terrible is a great way to describe dogs. It's very accurate in my experience of... he ain't the biggest boy, but he's the biggest baby. Yep. Yeah, he is. Yeah, all my experience of dogs has been beautiful but smelly. Medium-sized, extra-large sweetie. That works for me, Fart Bubbler. How you doing? Okay. So, let's get some metallic on the switches. Yeah, not doing too bad, thanks, Fart Bubbler. So what do you folks think I should work on over Christmas then? I mean, I've got lots of things. I could just go back to Squigs for a bit. I mean, I'm going to be doing that soon anyway, because I really need to paint some of my Squigs. Seven Plastic Troopers from '89. Wicked. Penguin Sentinel. That sounds awesome. Could do Turn 28, yeah. The most festive of miniature things. Oh, that's a point. I could do something thematic and paint the Dared Gobbo that Torpor sent me. Take one of the trees from the Sylvaneth box and make it a Christmas tree. Oh my god, that's a genius idea, Grox. I love it. And I've got so much Snowflock. That could be fun. Oh, so who's been watching The Witcher today? Was it to you, Cypher, seeing as you put it in the playlist? Because I have been watching The Witcher today while I've been working. Do you mind? Gonna binge it this weekend. Good plan, Mod Hell. Also, how you doing? Other than tired. Have to wait for the boys to go to bed. Ah, fair play, Cypher. I've not watched much of it, I will admit. But yeah, so far it's good. Weird monster mushrooms are festive. I suppose they are in their own way, Kian. Toast. Henry Cavill is a sexy Geralt. Sure, Kian. Doesn't really work like that for me. He's good. I think he's a very good Geralt. And Porthos, sweetheart, there is not enough space up here for you to try and sleep on me like that. Yes, you can huff all you like. Try a different link. Both Pudlord and Penguin Sentinel. Drat and double drat. The bot is really weird about the kinds of links that it will accept. All types of drat. Oh dear. But yeah, on the Henry Cavill thing, it's nice to see someone in that kind of Dratocalypse. Damn, yeah, that works. Drat and damned dishwater, I say. It's nice to see somebody with that level of influence, for want of a better description, being openly nerdy. And people just celebrating it and not being shits about it for the most part. Yeah, it's nice to have some good beans in Hollywood, I guess is what I'm saying. Him and Keanu Reeves immediately come to mind. Not heard this in a long time. I'm honestly not sure what that bit's all about, you know. This bit here. So odd. We've got a little light there. Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are the veteran good beans in Hollywood. They really are groks, yeah. Very good beans. I've just noticed that this bit of the tail here doesn't really have any highlighting on it. So I'm just gonna desperately attempt to put some in. Which is difficult because of where it is, but that's fine. This brush is kind of stiff, which means it's actually doing a pretty good job in the tiny space I've got here. There we go. Better. I still want to see a movie with Mark Hamill and Sir Pat. I'd watch that. Betty White is also a good bean. Yeah, Betty White is a good bean. Oh, that was an ominous chuckle from Slow there. I don't know if folks heard that. I noticed when I photographed this guy on Wednesday that he needed a little bit more light grey in his cheeks as well. We heard and we are scared. Fair. Ah yes, a slow chuckle. Sluckle? Ugh, no, don't like that. Don't like that at all. Something just deeply unsettling about it. Well done, Tiz. Twice as shiny. I really like that particular line. Say what you will about MCR, they evolved in such an interesting way. Sluckle is an evil slime slow. Oh no, no. There are armoured bears in Battletech. Oh, that's amazing. I would call every single one of them Wojtek. Because I'm super original like that. I remember getting to see MCR at, I think it was Taste of Chaos, when I was like 14, 15. Yeah, I must have been 15. good. I will say what I will about MCR, and what I will say is I love them. Yeah, they're a brilliant band. Do you want to get down? Hang on a second, folks. Warren! Move your adorable butt if you're moving it. Bye-bye. Oh. Now I know why there's so much damage to my chair. So, my lovely comfy, like, poor man's fancy leather chair, which I have had for a few years now. I got a bonus at my old job and was like, you know what I'm doing with this bonus? I'm buying myself a fancy chair because I've always wanted one like this. And in the last sort of 3 months, the leather started to peel away around the edge, and I've had to literally duct tape it so that it doesn't get any worse, and I've just figured out what's causing it and why it's only in 2 specific spots on the chair. It's where Porthos puts his paws when he gets up in my chair. You're the reason I can't have nice things. I still love you though. Yeah, you're beautiful. But yeah, the chair is hurtling towards being fucked at this point, which is a shame, because I do love it. And can't really afford a new one either. Hey Samuel, how you doing? Happy Friday. I love this painting handle sometimes. Reupholstering it could be a fun project. It could, though that's not a skill I have. And I'm genuinely not sure how to go about doing something like that with a chair like this. There we go. I think. Let's have a look at... Oh, I did the whole thing that colour. Okay, yeah, we can do that. In fact, let's get a bigger brush. In true Blue Peter fashion, here's one I made earlier. How are the pillows? The pillows are wonderful groks, and because they're not fluffy, they're very comfortable though. Because they're not fluffy and they've not got feathers coming out of them or anything like that, there's nothing to interest Porthos enough for him to rip them apart. He just likes to sit on them. And I can cope with that. How much are proper painting gaming chairs these days? I have no fucking idea, Sentinel. Because, frankly, I know they're more money than I have, so I don't bother looking. Like, I think you can get some for a couple of £100, But that's like bargain basement might not last very long kind of prices, if I'm not mistaken. Whereas you'd really want something that's going to last if you're going to have to spend a fuck ton of money on it and save up for it for ages. Good to hear Porthos is not interested in them. Yeah, I mean, he's interested in them, just not in a destructive way, thankfully. And, saw a video of a raccoon getting stuck in an M3 Bradley's hatch. Oh my god, I bet that was amazing, Rocket. No good demons. Oh, Wicked Thomule. Weekend's project will be finishing them. Best of luck. I hope to see many pictures. Oh, Porthos. I know I've not been sat with you all day today because I had so many meetings, but is that really any reason to be this demanding of my attention? I walked you and everything. Just so you can see what I'm actually doing. I'm comparing what I've done with the other raccoons to this one. Porthos noises. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Penguin Sentinel. Porthos is a good even when a bit of a dick. Yeah, he's a good boy, mostly. Thank you for the treat. Go get it! That will keep him distracted for all of 3 seconds, I'm sure. Oh no, he's actually eating out in the hallway instead of bringing it back in here. Hello! He's back. Okay. Oh, I missed a bit. Because this bit is also entirely metal. There we go. I've got a couple of metallic bits on the back to do. There's that one up there. And then I'm just going to use the I now have a pseudo Porthos Staffy toy because I'm 40 and I can be a child if I wanna. That is adorable, Penguin. I love it. Oh, I need to see a picture of it though, because that is just so sweet. I've actually been meaning to, for Halloween, get 2 Staffy plushies. And plushie lovers, please close your ears for a second here. Cut the heads off of them and put them onto like a shoulder harness or a t-shirt so that Porthos can be Cerberus for Halloween one year. Because I'm daft. But I think he'd make a good Cerberus. Wouldn't you, sweetheart? Yeah. That sounds amazing. Unfortunately, getting plushies the right sort of size is difficult. You need to find a thing to do with the bodies. Oh my god, I can think of some absolutely horrific things to do with the bodies. Cerberus, yes! I did do that bit right. Okay. So I'm just taking a bit of the metallic paint and I'm gonna... Actually, I won't do it with this brush because then I can be rough. I'm gonna take my Cheap and Cheerful brush, which tends to get a beating. Get a little bit of the metallic paint. And just brush some along the edges and in a couple of key places. So it looks kind of like the paint scuffed off. And then I'm going to do the exact opposite on the bit at the end there. And then get the blue and just sort of attack it with the blue. I'm going to have to moisten my blue. There we go. It's better. And now I'm being super gentle with it. Like I'm barely touching the miniature. I don't want it to be perfect and tidy. I want it to be... I'll do it perfect and tidy there though, because that's not got any metallic on it. There we go. That works. So I want you to still be able to see the metallic underneath for the most part. Awesome. Thank you very much, Penguin Sentinel. Hey McG! Or hey McG! How you doing? Happy Friday. Okay, so that's the proton pack almost done. We need to get some of my fluorescent paint out in a minute. I'm going to put a little bit more metallic over the top of some of the blue bits on here. It's better. Very glad it's Friday. You and me both, my friend. You and me both. This has been a rough week. So much going off in the tech world this week. And I'm off work on Monday, so I'm going to have a fucking nap. And I am very much looking forward to it. This week has been quite the month. It really fucking has, Mod Hale. But it's over now. Sort of. My favourite thing about painting the little lights on the proton packs is that it doesn't matter if I paint them in opposite orders on one in comparison to one of the others. 'Cause you know, it could be that they swap between being red or green. Like they're on a timer. You know what fairy lights do? And this miniature is frozen in time. Just means they turn their proton packs on at different times. When you're stealing secrets, it's Friday. Nicely done, Kian. Do, Re, Egon. My favourite joke from that movie. It really is. I am a big Egon fan. That's why he got painted first. No bias here, definitely not. Somebody burnt the goat? Have I missed something here? Was something happening today? I live under a rock, for the record. Oh, okay. The weird, socially awkward, most likely neurodivergent genius is your favourite, Kel Surprise. I don't know what you mean, Modhale. I don't know what you mean. No, seriously, what do you mean? No, I've always liked my nerdy outsiders. It's a little bit of primer just there, and it's bugging me. There we go, I think I got it. All made of straw. I thought you just burned some poor goat. Yeah, me too, Kian. Okay. I love this track. I had never heard this cover of it. Yeah, why do you think I haven't painted Venkman yet, Modhell? Like, I chose Winston over Venkman. Peter is getting painted last. I mean, sure, I'm going to do something interesting with him, hopefully. But, never really liked Peter Venkman. I suppose he's a necessary part of the movie, but, The goat is in Sweden. Ah, okay then. I feel slightly less guilty about not knowing what was going on now. Peter was my favourite as a kid. Fair enough. It doesn't do for us all to be the same. But yeah, he I've never liked him. I always thought he was kind of mean. That is part of the plan, Modhale. I knew someone was going to figure me out. There is more to it than that, though. And there is something I am missing to be able to do that. Right, I should have known it'd be you that had sussed me out, Modhell. Okay, so I am just shaking my fluorescent paints. Because the pigment always goes right to the bottom. I always preferred Ray and Egon. Yeah, Ray and Egon were my favourites. I mean, we wouldn't even have Ghostbusters if it hadn't been for Dan Aykroyd, who played Ray. Because as much as him and... oh shit. Come on, brain. Oh no. The fellow who plays Egon. Harold Ramis, there we go. Thank you, Kian. We got there at the same time. Both big important parts of the script writing for Ghostbusters. A lot of it was brought on in the first place by Aykroyd's family history, which I've mentioned on streams before whilst I've been painting these minis. So, unless people want me to mention it again, I won't. So I'm just going to put some fluorescent paint on the little lights. Toilet just broke and had to be fixed. Oh gosh, Nikki, I hope everything's okay. Like, of the things that can break in a house, I think the toilet is probably the worst, because, oof. Oh no, I should have painted the red on that little light as well. Oh well. Okay, seeing as Modhale has said I should mention it again. For those that weren't already aware, Dan Aykroyd's grandfather was a medium. And I don't mean he was smaller than a large either. I mean he was you could call him a psychic, which isn't technically accurate, but he was a very, very well respected medium. So well respected, in fact, spirit medium. Thank you, Torpor. So well respected, in fact, that he toured the UK. The spiritualist centre that my mum goes to, because my mum is also a medium, actually have a poster from when he visited their place, which is really cool. But that's why I think as well it was tackled with such I wouldn't say it was scientific, but a lot of the time when you see anything like that in a cinematic space, it's the mediums and the people that can do the spirity type stuff are treated as con artists and fraudsters straight off the bat, whereas Ghostbusters starts with them doing a scientific experiment to see if any of the people they're working with are clairvoyant, which is really cool. So instead of a medium, they got a well done. Oh, for fuck's sake, Tids, that was terrible. Okay, bad joke doesn't work either. Oh no, there we go. There we go. That was awful. But yeah, and I think that's one of the things I've always liked about Ghostbusters, is that it's surprisingly sensitive about a topic that a lot of things aren't. I mean, except for that one scene with Ray that I'm not going to go into in any greater detail than that for reasons that anyone that's seen that scene will know. 'Cause, damn. Okay. We've got 2 little lights left to do. We'll go red for the top one, green for the bottom one. Seeing the lack of light bulb over my head at that reference, I need to watch Ghostbusters again. That's fair, Motto. The scientific approach to ghostbusting is something I love. Same, Kian, and is part of the reason that I've ended up the way I am as well. Like, I take a very scientific approach to the things that my mother does. And I take a very scientific approach to cryptids and things like that as well. Like, I would like to study stuff like that in more detail. I really would. And that's why I ended up doing that podcast. Short-lived though it may have been. And maybe one day I'll go back to it. Just because I love stuff like that so much. I can't be a Ghostbuster, so I'll just talk about them instead. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Exactly. We all know about your feelings on cryptids. If you bring up those voice lines again, Cypher, I did what I was asked to do. And it was an absolute pleasure to do. It was an honour, but does not reflect my feelings on cryptids. How did I completely miss the paint then? There we go. Yes, indeed. Oh yeah, did folks see, by the way, that the guest book where those posts were has been removed? I mean, to be fair, there was some pretty fucking horrendous stuff in there. I'm not surprised that the owners of the site have gone, you know what, maybe we should just... I mean, personally... Ooh, this is neat. Nice choice, McG. Maybe they should have just had some sort of input validation that, you know, removed phrases like mothcog. Just saying. See, there is an Indie Mouse fan in chat. Okay, so that's all of the fluorescent bits painted. What have we got left to do? We haven't done his little bags, so I'll do those in one of the browns. And... you know, we're nearly there. Thanks, Monhelm. They've probably all gone to Arm Moth first. Yeah, probably. Songs the Dark Souls of 80s anime video loops. I like it. He's good. It's a very nice little loop. I'm sorry, chat, you're gonna have to give me a minute. Thomule has killed me. Fucking hell. Bravo! But no, if he was a Tanuki, they'd be big fucking bags. Or if you're the translators for Studio Ghibli, his raccoon pouch. Murder? I'm in. Seriously, that gets me every time I think about it. Raccoons aren't marsupials. Pom Poko is gold. It is, but also, the fuck? His ferret pouch. Oh dear. If there's one thing you're definitely never going to get me to uwu voice at, it's fucking Tanuki balls. Oh, good grief, someone hide the bodies. Nah, let's go with... Let's go with... We'll go with Army Painter's Martian Brown as a base. And then we'll see how we go from there. Oh my, penguin. You have some Tanuki balls, yeah. Like, seriously, if you've never seen Pom Poko and you have the opportunity to watch it, I highly recommend it. If nothing else, for the scene when Tanuki straight up murders a guy by covering the guy's windshield with his testicles. It's taking a lot of restraint for me to not mute this entire chat. Holy shit, D-Mac. Deep breaths. You okay? Yeah, it's a interesting film. Oh, really, Modhell? But yes. Raccoons and Tanuki, as much as Tanuki are also known as raccoon dogs, not part of the same family. Raccoons are actually more closely related to bears than they are to Tanuki. Tanuki are more closely related to dogs. But neither of them are marsupials. That has been your animal fact for the day. Of course, tonight I find it within seconds. Oh no, I don't dare look. Okay, maybe I dare. The hero always peaks, right? Oh dear sweet Jesus, that is cursed! Whenever I hear Tanuki, I think of BNA. BNA is a really great show. BNA stands for Brand New Animal. It's such a wholesome show. And, like, some of the... Like, it gives me NB feels, for want of a better description. Yes, I do mod hell, but I'm going to mind bleach myself in a moment, so I won't have to remember it anymore. Sure, it's a metaphor for the trans experience. Yeah, it very, very well could be, with some of the things that are covered in it. Definitely. But it is a really great show. There we go. we go. You know, that paint's actually gone on quite nicely. I've got this little bit here and I can't tell what it's part of, so I can't paint it the right colour. But I can see a bit of the belt that I've missed there. So I'll paint the belt in. I think I'll just put some skeleton bone on that bit there. And then I'm going to have to redo some of the bits on the proton pack, I think. I have a plushie of the main character. Awesome! There we go. Oops. Got some green on the blue. I don't want to do that. I'm going to try and use my brush to take most of the green off. There we go. And then just lightly go over it with the blue to cover up the rest of it. There we go. Okay. Looking good. Going to try and get underneath the pouches a little bit. There we go. There we go. Ta-da! I think we're about there. All I've got left to do is the yellow bit. And then the most important part, obviously. So we've got this big yellow cable here. Oh, I tell you what, Textbook is ever so stroppy. It probably has taste. Oh, I doubt it. It's my bot, it probably doesn't. Bots are like their owners, right? Trying so hard not to get yellow where it's not supposed to be. Excuse me, camera. There we go. Please feel free to hit the skip button if it's too much or too early. Okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. Sorted it. There we go. Okay. You have my attention. I'm going to keep painting, but all right then. Okay, this is kind of amazing. This is great. My mind, it is unraveling. Like the ribbon on a Christmas present, Thomuel. Bye-bye sanity points. This is great. I love it. It's really creative. Like, who thought to put them together and then make it about Christmas? It's great. Good on them. Definitely tids, but you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah. We're on to the last leg, folks. Going to have a mince pie in honour of the tunes, as you should. Gotta love a mince pie. That's my favourite thing about this time of year. It's so easy to get them. And I love a mince pie and a cuppa. I'm fine. I'm calm. This is brilliant. I love it. Love it. Okay. So I'm going to put some shading on stuff now, particularly the metal bits, with some Nuln Oil. I'm not gonna lie, before times get mince pie and coffee on the way into the office pretty much every work day in December. I don't blame you at all, Thomuel. I would be the same. I used to think mince pies actually had mince in, so as a veggie I kept declining them when I was offered one. That's fair, McGee. I thought they had actual meat in them when I was younger. And then I found out they had fruit in them and went, ugh, fruit. That's even worse. And then I got old and now I like them. They had beef fat in them. Some homemade recipes still do. Oh, I did not know that. I love how we learn something new on every stream on this channel. That might have sounded like I was being sarcastic, but it's really not. I love learning stuff. And you folks are just all so intelligent. You all know such disparate stuff. So there's always something. There's always something to learn. And I love that. So I'm putting a little bit of Nuln Oil strategically on the tail as well. Just to give it a bit more depth. I think I'll put a little bit, like, some of the areas where we've got contact with other bits of the miniature as well. Because all the shading that I do is all well and good, but sometimes a spot of Nuln Oil just really, you know, picks things out for you. There we go. Let's put a little bit more there. And a little more here. There we go. A little less there. There we go. There we go. I think he's done. Hey guys, how you doing? I am a repository of useless trivia. Bet you're good in a pub quiz though.
Excellent.
Okay, we have usefulness or uselessness aside, it's fascinating. It really is. I love learning stuff, even if it's useless trivia. It's fun. It's interesting. Oh dear, Geist. Hopefully you don't have to carry any more up. Hopefully you can have a nice bit of rest now. Just gonna put a little bit of the black primer there. The original 15th century recipe involved fermenting meat and dried fruit in vinegar. Huh, okay then. Neat. Hopefully that was it. Oh, good. Then rest time it is. It was deeply upsetting and I want to try it. Yeah, same, Samuel. I mean, I'm not desperate to try it because I quite like modern veggie-friendly mince pies, but I want the Psycho for this. Definitely need the Psycho for what I'm about to do. And also Google, curse. We all know what my spelling's like. There we go. Oh! Seeing as Google has just reminded me what I was doing before I started the stream. In case anybody hadn't heard, my favourite mascot, Nazo no Sakana, retired yesterday. Nazo no Sakana was the mascot for the Chiba Lotte Marines, and their name translates to mystery fish, or mysterious fish. And they have had 5 different iterations over the course of their tenure as mascot for the team. They rose to prominence in 2017, I think it was, when the first form, which was a fish with human legs, vomited up its own skeleton. On the pitch. Green? I don't know what the correct one is, but you know what I mean. I don't do sports, I just like the mascots and the hockey jerseys. But yeah, So Nazar has retired. Not normally, Kian, but Nazar is very special. Actually, yep, no, that's right. I've seen that video. The other where the mascot eats the line guy and spits him out in his underwear is also great. Yeah, Nazar's just a wonderful mascot, and I'm really sad to see them go. I hope our favourite auto-regurgitating fish creature enjoys its well-earned rest. Indeed. Nazar was a lot of fun. There's a wonderful little video, which folks may have seen, of Nazar waiting for their fish body at an airport, waiting for it to come around the baggage carousel, and then going, yes, my body, sort of picking it up, putting it on the floor, and then climbing into it. It's just the weirdest shit, and I love them so much. I really don't know what the Marines are going to do next. And honestly, I don't think anything could ever hold a candle to Nazar. I believe in baseball it's called the Crucible of Souls in the US, or the Blood Dome internationally. That makes sense. An oiled up Jason Momoa, just saying. I mean, they could. I don't know if he'd be up for it, though. Oops. Yeah, he might be. But yeah, I've got to find myself a new favourite mascot now. I mean, Nazar will always be my favourite, because they're wonderful. But, you know, I need to find one that I can follow that's active. Also, they've done a load of, like, the history of Nazar merchandise in honour of their retirement. And if I lived in Japan and had the money, oof. Because there's some really good shit in there. Getting Jason Momoa to oil up and do wacky stupid shit. Normally they have to pay him to stop doing that. Sounds legit. Hi, Porthos. Now is a really bad time to move my chair. Oh, they're actually quite thin. Didn't know that. I'm looking at a picture of his nameplate as I'm doing this. Because like, how did they fit his name onto the plate? The rest of them have got quite short surnames. I mean, Venkman's is quite long, but... There we go. It turns out they made the letters smaller to fit. Carefully. Yes, indeed, Kian. I mean, Porthos is always going to have a special place on this miniature, because he knocked me while I was doing that first D. Pretty. As is his way. The second one's way better. I might try and tidy the first one up later. I keep bumping my glasses on my lamp. Bad Porthos, do not knock people while they're doing the D. Well done. Bravo. Got a little build-up of red at the bottom of the bristles and it's bugging me, so I'm just going to tidy that up. There we go. Oh, too much. Ooh. It's a really good track. Don't bob along to the music whilst you're painting letters. It only ends in tears. Tempting though it is. Yes, it is Rockhead. I started watching it earlier today. It's good so far. So I don't think I've said hello to you yet. So, hello, how are you? It is really hard not to bob along to a track like that when you're doing something like this. I'm trying so hard. I've got a little bit that I need to do some, for want of a better description, Tipp-Exing on. Tiny little bit of the O got away from me there. There we go. One thing I would say if you're planning on doing what I do and painting letters on your bases. Don't stress too much if one of them doesn't go quite how you want it to. Just paint over it and try again. Or if it only goes a little bit awry like that O did, just treat your paint like Tipp-Ex. If I'm playing Reach coupled with how the first part of Infinite's campaign has me wanted to download the Master Chief Collection. Do it, Muchi. I really enjoy the Master Chief Collection. I mean, Reach is my favourite. And then ODST, probably. But oh, heck you, Botale, you filthy bugger. Get your brain out at gutter. Don't. You're fine the way you are. But still, Nearly there. One letter left. Whew. This is some intense shit. The Z looks too short now. So now I'm just going to go over some bits where the red's not as vibrant. I'll see if I can fix that first D as well. And I'm going to get a brush I don't care about quite so much and use it to rejuvenate the primer over here a bit. Oh, for fuck's sake. I just can't say out tonight, can I? This is surprisingly difficult. Well put, Torpor. Okay. My solution for the wonky letter is to cover most of it up. That's better. They look a bit more even now. Never settle for that small. Fair play, Tids. we go. Still not perfect, but it'll certainly do. Just going to make the top of the Z a little bit thinner. I actually have a Gunpla pen that I could probably use to correct that, but I've done it now. Sorted. Yeah, not perfect in the slightest. Not my best lettering work at all, but not bad. By any stretch.
Excellent.
And I gave it a punt, which is the important thing. Thank you very much, Torpor. So there he is. That's raccoon number 3 done. I'll just show you him along with his colleagues. Oh no! I need to get some more glue. My good glue is dead. So I'll have to get some more glue in the new year as well. Just gonna hold him in place. Okie doke, tids. So there's Egon. And there's Ray. So now we've only got Venkman left to do. And then they're all done. F for good glue. Yeah. Right. And it is 7 o'clock, so it's about time for me to finish up. So let's massive thank you everyone for coming along today. I hope you've had a good time. I certainly have. It's another raccoon painted. I have painted 3 miniatures in the last month and a half. Fuck yeah. Feeling productive. I'll take that. So, we're gonna raid Longfang. I will be back tomorrow with Kaiju Noir at about 10 PM UK time. So hopefully I'll see you then. And until I do see you next, as always, take care of yourselves. Thank you for the follow, Van0x0. Sorry that I'm finishing up. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Wash your fucking hands. And have a lovely weekend, everybody. However you spend it. Right. Bye.